Coach Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. We've talked about closing out games, the importance to attention to detail in those moments for your group to be able to do that tonight against the defending champs. Just how big was that for them and the growth you've seen out of them tonight?
Well, the great part about it for these guys is it was an immediate response. Right, to the other night, understanding what they had to do to execute down the stretch, getting timely stops, and then obviously offensively executing the things that we needed to get done.
Coach, just kind of building off that point. It wasn't a straight line to get there. They were up 4. Golden State hits that 3. They get a chance to score at the end. They're up. I forget how much you're up by, and Golden State kind of keeps fighting back. What does it say about this team that even with the first 8 games, you guys were able to kind of bounce back and recover the way that you did and close this game out?
This group is so resilient, and that's the discussion we had prior to the game. We had that discussion post-Oklahoma City game, understanding the moments. It's going to be a game of runs. It's a game of flows, and you have to understand to stay the course no matter what and do the simple things. We always talk about dominating the simple, and those were part of the things we did down the stretch.
Coach, Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. Kind of talk about how what you saw in Jalen Suggs tonight, especially right there down to the wire at the end of the fourth quarter. He seemed to kind of hit another gear. Kind of talk about that.
Well, that's who he's been. He is a fierce competitor, and that's what we've asked him to become. Obviously stepping into the moment, guarding, some of the better players out there, and then offensively just being able to settle things down and taking what the defense gives him. But he is a fierce competitor, and that's what, you love about him.
Jamahl, going back to Phil's point earlier, to do it against this team, obviously, one that is the defending champs, but one that can throw several punches in a row. What is the value of that for this team so early on?
Again, I really believe it is part for our guys to understand of staying the course no matter what happens in a 48-minute game. We saw what happened the other night, and they learned from that. Understanding that you have to play it down the stretch, you have to do the dominating, the simple plays, and our guys did that.
Game, Jalen hits the 3, and then he had the steal, and he turned around and he hugged you real quick, and you were yelling something at him. What were you saying to him? Was that more calm him down, or was that more just?
It was a winning play, but the biggest thing was just go knock the free throws down, right? Just go knock the free throws down and stay in the moment, right? It's not over till that horn goes off, but just his excitement and his joy for getting back on the floor was, what I'm most excited about, and we're most excited about for him.
Coach, I'm sure the headlines are going to be a lot about Jalen Suggs, about Paolo Banchero heating up in the third, but what credit can you give to the bench guys? They provided a lot of effort, a lot of hustle throughout that early second half. Kevon Harris, Chuma Okeke, a lot of offensive rebounds. Talk about what they brought to the team today.
Between the bench and our fans, it was, electric and exciting. And we're not in that first quarter if Chuma Okeke doesn't come in there and knock down some big shots. We don't sustain the effort if Kevon Harris doesn't come in there and do a great job defensively and grab a couple offensive rebounds. We are not in the game if RJ doesn't come off the bench and play his minutes strongly and make some key plays. So that goes a testament to those guys staying ready and stepping into the big moment, not being afraid.
Jamahl, what were you seeing from Paolo in that third quarter? It seemed like he really was just putting the points on the board that helped you guys stay in it, and before he made that big push to tie the game, eventually take over for the win.
Well, as the game goes on, he's finding his times to when he can go and not go. Early on, he was being very aggressive early, and then he was understanding how they were playing him. So as the third quarter came, he recognized some of the plays and how they were playing him. So he was allowed to get downhill on some of those second plays.
You've been around the league, how rare is it for a rookie to recognize those moments? It's hey, let me slow down. Now I can speed back up.
He's special. He's very special. The way he recognizes the game, the way he sees the game. And again, he's going to continue to grow in that light and continue to get better.
Hey, Jamahl, did you see more of a focused team tonight? They didn't really let the past affect. Wendell got that tech turnover. They didn't really let it affect them. What'd you see about the focus?
I'm so proud of these guys for that. We talked about it right before the game, understanding the game of runs and staying in the moment. And as soon as it happened, they recognized it. They brought each other together. They talked about it. We talked about it in the huddle, understanding that they've been there before. And then they came out and executed down the stretch.
When you look back to Jalen, obviously he's just a couple games coming back from that injury. How much does that show just the work and that itch to get back into the game, and how much is paying off when you're that quick return to come back in and see the results pay off like that?
Well, there's so many parts to that. One is our performance staff does an amazing job trying to get these guys back on the floor. Two, it shows his commitment to wanting to get back, and the job our coaches did with him with film and extra work. It just shows that their commitment to that.
Coach here in the back. When timeout's called, you spend the first 30 seconds or a minute talking to your coaches. So what you don't see is the players that aren't in uniform, not playing, really not getting after the guys, but really enthusiastic about what's going on and stuff like that. Talk about that camaraderie and really what it does for those guys before you get in there and give those final instructions.
We've said this group is going to do it by committee, and that's what it means. Whether you're playing, whether you're not playing, whether you're on the IR, these guys are lifting these guys up. You have Gary, Cole, Markel, J.I., Mo. Like, they're all talking about the things that they see and helping get these guys to understand the flow of the game and how they see things. I think it's fantastic. It does so much. It's just more coaches as much as possible. We already have 12 coaches. Now we have like 15 more.
OrlandoMagic.com, coming into tonight, so much was made a focus of closing out games. Just how big was it for your group to do it, not only in response to that, but against the defending champs?
It was a great team win. We spoke after the loss in Oklahoma City, just us as a team, just about taking responsibility, starting to get used to winning, and having that be our motto, and that's something we're used to, instead of getting into these games, like it was in OKC, when they come out on top in the end. We talked this before the game, and Mose just, showing some clips of us playing the right way, trusting each other, doing the things, that got us to the point, we know that we're supposed to be doing. And, we came out and did that tonight, the entire game long, whether we were up, whether we were down, we stayed the course, we trusted the game plan, and it was a great team win. Everybody contributed. Everybody played great minutes, and you can't ask anything more of me, P, all the way down to Key, RJ, everyone on the roster.
Jalen, you had a handful of big shots. You had the 2 steals late in that game. How much of a responsibility did you put on yourself to be the guy in the mix to will your team to this victory?
Like I said, it's just about us being ourselves and playing within, our game plan. And, coaches have trust in all of us to make the right plays and to make big plays. And, we all have trust to make those plays. I know my teammates have my back, right or wrong. And, they're behind me tonight. When the shots went in, we got stops. There's a lot of times I got help on the weak side. Dell was doing a great job switching up on the stuff and making things tough, making them work for baskets. P had great buckets, that we needed to stay in the third quarter. All of us contributed all night long, which, I end up getting the ones at the end. But, it's to know the ones that happened before that, I think, are at that same level, because if they don't do those things and us as a team, we don't play like that, I don't get the opportunity, so.
Paolo, Kieran Patel there in the Magic HQ. What is it that you saw from Golden State's defense, specifically in that third quarter, that sort of made you switch gears and really take over offensively, as opposed to the first half start you had?
Nothing that changed. They played me the same way they did in the first half. It was just more of me, coming out. I felt like I was just out there kind of just playing in the first half, just being kind of half aggressive, not taking the ball as strong as I should have been. And my teammates just were telling me, leave that in the first half. It's a long game. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to make up for it. And I just wanted to help give us a lift, Guys off the bench, they really helped. Chum helped a lot. Kevon, RJ, they came in and kept the energy high and, helped me get going and helped the rest of us get going. So I think it was just a matter of, me, changing my mindset and just going out there and attacking.
Paolo, you've been in a lot of these close games coming down to the stretch. To see it go in the favor, how almost satisfying is that, just to see it go your way tonight in a night like this?
Yeah, I can't say it's not satisfying. It definitely is, especially just in the way it happened, in the final seconds. This guy right here making huge plays, and then having that, my turnover at the end kind of just made everything more tense for us, especially myself, trying to get that last stop. And then I think we executed, greatly on defense on that last possession and was able to get the stop. So, to have that go in our favor against the defending champs was a good feeling.
Jalen, you hit a couple of big threes down the stretch. I want to go back to the first one. It was the one that gave you guys the 120 lead. What were you seeing from the defense there that, I guess, emboldened you to take the shot there?
We were running double. They messed up the switch. Draymond was all the way back. He really wasn't guarding anybody. It was all the way back in the paint, almost, out towards our screener, and just nobody around. Nate, we've talked about it every day. Nate, Aubrey, be the goldfish. In that short-term memory, goldfish have real short-term memory. It's telling me that a lot, in terms of, whether it's a turnover, missed shot, whatever, it was to be the goldfish. And then they just always saying, trust your work. It's something I've always believed in. I know my teammates have my back. The coaching staff trusted me. And, step into open one, just shoot them with confidence. And, I had one there. Shot it, took it. It was a good shot for our offense, and, we hit it.
How much did getting to the rim, throughout the game, especially in that third quarter, even the fourth, help you establish that rhythm? It seemed like once you start to get to the rim more, like your shot, maybe I'm just seeing it, but it seemed like you were more confident in your shot after that.
I think just trying to make the aggressive right play. Like I said, continue to play in our game plan. Take what's open, take what the defense is giving us. These guys did a great job in driving and kicking and, causing problems for them, in the fact to where when I do come off the ball screen, now they're helping extra on P because he had the big third quarter, and I get an open look. So I think it's a multitude of a lot of different things. Yeah, getting in rhythm, getting to the free throw line, and also, just us as a team moving, playing the right way. When you play the right way, good shots and makes follow.
What does it do for you guys in an emotional game like this where when a timeout's called and Coach Mosley's talking to your other coaches, the guy's not in uniform, the guy's not playing, your teammates are talking you up, giving you encouragement, that kind of stuff. How does that boost? What does that do?
It's huge. You got guys like Markel, J.I., Gary, who have been in this league, played at a high level, against the best in the world. They've seen a lot. So they're always talking to us, always giving us advice. Mo Wagner is a great basketball mind. He's always talking to us and, just telling us what they see. Because, we have different perspectives. They might see something off the court that we can't catch on the court. We share it, get out there, and, execute it. So, just having those guys around, although they're not on the court, which will be amazing, and we can't wait to get them back, but just their presence, on the sideline, is definitely felt throughout the game. Whether it's, early in the first quarter in the locker room or, when it gets to the end of the game, those last timeouts.
Paolo, you're a rookie. What's it do for you?
A lot. It's like having extra coaches kind of out there on the floor. They're all great basketball minds, all very smart players. Like he said, who've been in the league for a long time. So they know what's going on. They know what adjustments can be made. They know what tricks, you can use to maybe get open or, get this matchup or, exploit this. So, it helps a lot. And, I mean, it just kind of gives us an extra boost, from playing on the road. Those guys aren't there. And then you come home and you just kind of have them guys to lean on and help you out.
Paolo, the Warriors obviously are a team that always is a threat. They're always coming, and it seemed like throughout that fourth quarter, every time you guys seemed capable of taking this step up, they came back and they kept counterpunching. What did it mean to kind of withstand all those counterpunches and pick up the win, or what does it say about this team that even through all the way the season has started, you guys were able to kind of take those punches and punch back?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows, just the character of the team, how we feel about us as a team, where we think we can be, what we think we can do, and that's just how the game goes. I mean, we didn't think we were going to ever blow them out or just open the game up and it was going to be easy. I mean, when we went up 6-7, we knew, they were going to make some shots and end up, making it a tight game. So you just kind of keep that in your head. But then when it comes, you want to just be ready and continue to do the things that, got you that 6-7 point lead and just stay solid. So, that's what we tried to do, and it felt good to get that win.
Jeremy Brenner, the Magic Insider. Jalen, probably joy is the best word I could use to describe your face in the last part of the game. Kind of reminds me of when you made that game winner against UCLA back in the Final Four. Is that comparable? Can you compare the two on the court? Is this the happiest you've been since that moment?
It's funny you say joy. because me and my pops talk a lot. You know, we're really close. We have a great relationship. You know, and he told me, you know, right before the season started, like, you know, play with some joy. You know, that's always been who you were. You were happy when you were on the basketball court, you know, and that fed into, you know, my competitiveness, you know, and when those two mix together, you know, as long as you don't let the emotion get too high or too low, you know, you have a mix, you know, that's scary to play against, you know, and great to play with. So it's funny that you say joy, because I just had that same conversation, not only with my pops, but with Mose as well. And, you know, I've had a lot of fun moments. I've had a lot of moments where, you know, I've been into the game, happy. This definitely is one of them. You know, it's definitely towards the top. But, I mean, I think the part that makes it, you know, makes me so happy about it is doing it with this locker room, you know, and this team. Like, these guys lifted me up all game, good shot, bad shot, turnover. You know, Campbell on defense, you know, they were constantly talking to me, constantly, you know, telling me, let's go, we believe in you, we trust in you. You know, and we battle every night. And, you know, we work hard in practice. We have a great time, you know, on our trips, you know, really close team. So to do this with them, I think is what brings that joy, you know, that's to that level. That's what it was at Gonzaga, because I love that team, I love this team, and, you know, I think that's where, you know, that happiness and joy comes from.
Okay, final question.
Paolo, we talked earlier in the preseason, that game against Memphis, you were getting guarded by Brooks and Bane, and then, you know, tonight, earlier it's Wiggins, then it's Draymond down the stretch. You know, what's that process for you, learning what it's like to go up against elite-level defenders night in and night out?
Yeah, man, it's a challenge. You know, I'd be lying if I just said it was easy, or, you know, it's frustrating sometimes, you know, because those guys are good, and you got to figure it out on the fly. I mean, in the first half, I was, you know, I was getting the shots I wanted, but they weren't falling. I was short, you know, a little off. And then second half, I just wanted to play with pace, play faster, play stronger, just overall be more aggressive with my movements, just everything, and just pick it up. And so that's what I tried to do. But like you said, just going up against those guys is great. I mean, even Dort last game, like, just going up against those guys is a challenge. And I just think it gets me better, you know, kind of playing on the perimeter more, maybe dribbling a little more than I'm used to in the past. You know, it's only getting me better in those aspects of my game that might have been, you know, lesser, you know, a year ago. So just trying to take it day by day and, you know, just keep leaning on my teammates.